Well, they're essentially saying this is good news in the long term, but bad news in the short term. In order to overcome all the production bottlenecks that we've seen so far, they need to upgrade their facility here in Puurs, Belgium. This facility here in Belgium is actually providing the Pfizer vaccine for the entire world except the United States. Pfizer makes the US doses in Michigan, but everything else is made here in Belgium. It's really put the focus here on a town in Belgium that most people had never heard of before this. It's mostly known for Duvel beer, the very strong beer here, and a very strong far-right presence, if anyone knows it at all. So that facility needs to be upgraded to overcome the bottlenecks, and that means that in the short term, the availability of doses is going to be less because there's going to be essentially construction works going on there. Now, the Belgian government says that it's reached out to Pfizer to ask what they can do to help speed up this process, which seems to infer that Pfizer has not actually contacted them yet about this. Now, we've just gotten a statement from Pfizer saying that although the letters they sent out to national governments said that this slowdown in production could last until February 8th, they're now saying actually it will only last next week. So that's before the end of January that things would get back to normal, according to this new statement. So we'll see exactly how long this disruption actually lasts.
Dave, Europe's already been criticised for the slow rollout of vaccines here. For example, here in France, we haven't even hit the 500,000 mark yet. What are the implications of this new delay?
Well, this is particularly concerning because the Pfizer vaccine requires 2 doses spread out over 3 weeks. So let's say somebody got their vaccine dose last week, their first dose, and they need their second dose in 3 weeks. If that falls right in the time that the distribution is slowed down, that person could maybe not get their second shot, which would be very concerning. Even if, as the new Pfizer statement suggests, this disruption will only last 1 week, when we're talking about supply chains across the whole world, except the United States, everyone's going to be affected by this, including the United Kingdom, and Canada even gets its distribution from Belgium, apparently, even though Michigan is right next door. When you're talking about supply chains, even a small disruption like this can have huge knock-on effects. And so if the availability of the vaccine is hindered over the coming weeks, it would really slow down what has already been a very problematic rollout, particularly in continental Europe, where the facilities have just not been in place to transport and distribute this vaccine. A lot of European countries in continental Europe were anticipating that the first vaccine approved would be the AstraZeneca vaccine, which doesn't need extreme refrigeration and only needs 1 dose. So this kind of threw them for a curveball here when Pfizer was announced as the first one. It needs extreme refrigeration facilities, which a lot of countries such as France and the Netherlands weren't prepared for. So it may be that just as soon as they solve all of those logistical problems on the ground to get this vaccine out, suddenly they're having supply problems because of this upgrade in the facility. Hopefully it does only last 1 week.
Dave, thank you very much. Dave Keating there.